analysis of this Pence. I just seen him. The devil's in me a little bit, so Christians, the learned Christians know that the sex lust is in me a little bit, but I'll still do it.
Calling Woodward's new book a political hit job. Vice President Mike Pence is today's headliner and joins us now. Mr. Vice President, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Sandra. Good to be with you.
So the president, in his defense of these audio tapes, has basically said this was a strategy on his part to prevent panic, to bring calm to the American people. So if it was a strategy, is it one that you knew of, Mr. Vice President?
Oh, what I saw firsthand from that day in January in the Oval Office when President Trump took the unprecedented step of suspending all travel from China, declaring a public health emergency, is that this president put the health of America first from day one. But he also wanted to reassure the American people all along the way.
Well, from day
There's
one.
There's an old saying from World War II in Great Britain that keep calm, carry on. And that was the presidential leadership that I saw. But when you look at the fact that Joe Biden, Democrats, and even the World Health Organization criticized the president's decision to suspend all travel from China.
Now, the World Health Organization, now, the devil in me wants me to side with the World Health Organization because, of course, through my excursions with finding out why my uncle committed suicide, the Christian pastor uncle, why he committed suicide, hung himself in his garage not a mile away from my home. But I went online and I went on different things and my feeds, and it taught me, my YouTube feed taught me about the World Health Organization or something like that. The Global Health Organization showed me a bunch of films about how breastfeeding and seeing boobs and women breastfeeding, that turned me on sexually. It really did. It would show up in my feeds, women breastfeeding. I watched them. What are they doing with this? Why are they putting this in my feed? It was to have a personal devil. I've talked about personal devils. Everyone has a personal devil. That you show favoritism when people rub your personal devil. Like say like you have a greed devil and your personal devil, and someone gives you money. Well, it makes your devil happy, so you're nice to them. If somebody gives you great laughter, if you're a great comedian and you can make someone laugh a lot, you're making their personal devil laugh many times, and you're nice to them because they make you feel good. It's the same with everything. Your personal devil gives in. When it feels good, you are nicer to people. And the World Health Organization did breastfeed and all that or whatever, and my globalists put it in my feed to program me in the future, and here I am, and I'm talking about it. So they're trying to connect, they're trying to get my personal level calmed down by bringing up the World Health Organization. But go ahead, I'll end you.
It took place a week before that audio clip that you just played. And when you see that it was in March, the other audio clip that's getting a lot of coverage is from March 19th, where the president spoke about his desire to create a tone to prevent panic. Sandra, it's important to remember that the president made that comment 4 days.
The whole very point of you guys, the left and the right, bringing this up is bullshit. You're just instilling more panic in the people, and they don't need it. It's not even at 5% like he predicted. It's like 3% of what the admitted known cases are, and it should be more like 2 or 1% if we knew the actual case. Probably lower than that if we know the actual cases.
Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives, but all along the way, what the American people saw was a
Of course, you're going to know the deaths because they're going to die. But as far as the cases, people get sick and don't report it, don't take a test. They got the Rona, they got better. It's done. Some people, a lot of people are asymptomatic, have no idea they have it, goes away. They're fine. A lot more people infected than they know. A lot lower death rate than they know. Right now, with the known cases and the known deaths, it's not even at 5%. And Trump said, oh, it's 5%, it's going to be terrible. It's not even at 5%.
It's going to work out. People have to remain calm. I want to keep the country calm. I don't want panic in the country. I could cause panic much better than even you.
But Mr. Vice President, you rewind to February 7th, and
wow,
you hear
gotcha
him on
politics,
that tape
huh?
saying this is deadly stuff, more deadly than your strenuous flu. On tape, talking about just how contagious this virus is. It can spread through air. And then in the weeks that followed, publicly at a New Hampshire rally, telling the American people it's going to be fine. February 26th, the White House Coronavirus Task Force meeting, saying that it's possible that the case number will go to 0, comparing it to the flu twice. He talked about
I compare it to the
also
flu.
told the American people it's
Well,
going
it seems
to
a
go
little
away.
worse than the
So
flu,
the question
but ultimately,
with
is
the
it? I don't know.
president's
I don't know
strategy
that it is worse
in
than the
your
flu.
words,
I don't
of the
know.
president's to bring this calm. Did he harm the ability to
Well,
stop the spread
if you
of this
look at how many,
virus by not
let me pause
warning
it.
the
You guys are
American people?
arguing. Okay, how many people have the flu killed? Can you have an answer? How many people have? No, oh no, not this year, but all time. Get it? Now this Rona, it'll probably disappear or stay in the foreground once everybody has a herd immunity. How many people did it kill, and how many people did the flu kill? I don't want to hear the bullshit.
What he knew were the dangers of it.
Absolutely not, Sandra. I mean, look, again, I want to go back. Joe Biden, the Health Organization, criticized the president's decision to suspend all travel from China. In early February, we were hearing
World Health Organization wanted us
this
to get
respiratory
infected.
illness that was spreading across
They should have known
Wuhan.
better
And
than
so the
anybody.
the health of the American
And they
people first.
criticize,
In that first week
okay.
of February, we started
I didn't know
work
that
on a
one.
vaccine. And in 6 short weeks, we already were in clinical trials for a coronavirus vaccine, and we believe that we're well
Kill
on our
people
way
like
to having
me.
a coronavirus vaccine in record time.
Keyboard
before the end
warriors,
of this year.
not getting
All along
exercise,
the way,
sitting on their ass,
assessing supplies,
trying to save the
assessing
planet.
logistics,
It was designed to kill
and
me.
when we came to that
But I'm not
moment,
afraid of it.
On March
Blah.
15th, the president announced that first of 15 days to slow the spread, it would become 45 days to slow the spread. All along the way, the president's mandate was that we would spare no expense. We would put the health of America first, despite the criticism that he endured. I mean, you need to
Wuhan
remember
lab.
too,
I
Sandra,
don't know.
that,
Go talk to the
on-
first
on the
murder
last day of
victim in
February,
China
there were roughly
with the
15
Wuhan, the
domestic
first
cases
doctor that said,
of
"Hey, it's a
coronavirus in America."
pandemic.
And a
And they
month
said,
earlier, the
kill
president
him.
suspended all travel from
Talk to
China
him, I don't
under
know.
a hailstorm of criticism from Joe Biden and the left. 2 weeks later, we would suspend essentially much of the American economy to put the health of our country first. We reinvented testing. Now we're doing more than 800,000 tests a day. We saw to the distribution.
Keep up the
and
tests.
manufacture
Increase the
of hundreds
tests.
of
I want to show
millions
how
of
many
supplies
people are
of
infected.
PPE
Get the
and new
antibody
medicines. I
test so
couldn't
we
be
can
more
get
proud
some of the people that's
response
been
of the American
infected.
people, more
Have the
proud of
antibody to show the
response of
death
health
rate is a
officials in
nothing.
Every agency of government, states across the country. And I couldn't be more proud of the strong, steady leadership that President Donald Trump brought to this coronavirus pandemic from day one.
And I should acknowledge
They
that
only
Dr.
wanted
Fauci
a
was
massive
interviewed,
testing at the
after
beginning.
revelation of these
Now the
tapes, and he
Democrats
said
are like,
he didn't
they're
see the
acting like
disparity
they
on
want
what the president was
widespread
telling him
massive
and
testing.
what he
Like,
was
wait a
telling the
minute,
public and
the
what
more
he was
people
doing,
that get
Mr. Vice
it,
President.
and the less
Do you-
the death
That's
toll is going to go
exactly right.
down.
Let me help
We don't
you
want the
with
death
that.
rate to
And,
go down.
you know,
It'll
we're
stop
Dr.
scaring
Fauci
people.
every step
We got to
of
slow
the
down
way
the
this, and all of
tests,
our health
and
experts.
you
I
know,
mean, when Dr.
keep
Fauci
it
said
going.
yesterday that
They want
everything
early
that our
tests
health
to scare.
experts told the
Oh,
president
you
in the
know,
Oval
10,000 people
He
got
went
it.
out
Get
and
scary.
told
Oh,
the
1,000, 100,000
So
people
I
got
believe what
it.
the
Be
president was
afraid.
speaking
That's what
about
it was about.
with
Now
with
they
Bob
just
Woodward
want
on
them.
March
Okay,
19th,
no,
was just the
not
tone
not many
that he
people
was
were
projecting.
infected by it.
I mean, this is a president who believes that a president of the United States in such moments needs to project strength. You can't project weakness.
That's how
There's a difference,
stupid
Mr.
politics are. They
That we work
sway.
together to
They're
get
never
through this.
stable in their
And so
ways.
his tone
They
was
go,
one of
they go,
projecting
oh, it's
calm
the
and
roundup.
confidence.
After the election, if
But I heard him
Biden
at
gets
that
elected,
podium. I
well,
heard
it's,
him in every
oh, it's our
setting. We
economy.
gave the
I got to
American
save the
people the
economy.
facts. And I
The
literally
road is not
believe
that
the
bad.
president's decision to suspend travel to China, the largest mobilization since World War II. I mean, and asking the American people to shut down our economy for 45 days to slow the spread, to save lives, is exactly the kind of presidential leadership that the American people hope for and pray for in times like this.
I appreciate that answer. What's being debated, though, while we all take in these audio tapes, is whether it was misinformation to
You know
the
what?
American public.
No, this is pissing
when
me
you
off right
consider
now.
that the
Why the
president knew
fuck
how
did the
deadly it
black
was, more deadly
MSNBC
than
with
a
the
strenuous
blacks?
flu,
Why
in
did you
his own
guys,
words,
if
but
you're
then
so
went
worried
on
about
in
the Rona
public
spreading,
environments to
why
discuss
did you
it
do
and
those
compare it to the flu? I'll let you
those
respond to that in a
clips
second.
of
But Robert
blacks
O'Brien, the
getting
National Security
killed
Advisor to the president,
only to piss off blacks so
late
blacks can
January
go out and
at an
protest
intelligence
and get the
briefing,
Rona and
President
kill off their
warned
own
the president that this would
kind?
be the
You
biggest national
abortion-loving
security threat that he
motherfuckers.
would face during his presidency. Were you privy to that same information that day? Did you receive that briefing, Mr. Vice President?
I was in the Oval Office the day that the team came in and briefed the president about what we perceived was happening in China. Remember, the World Health Organization failed us. China was not forthcoming with the United States about what was happening there. But the team came in and laid the facts that, as we knew them, on the table to the president. And again, I have to tell you, to see the president sit behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office and do what no American president had ever done, and that was suspend all travel from China, to me was a historic example of presidential leadership, and it saved hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of lives. But the truth is, we were learning all along the way. I mean, on this network, on other networks, you had health experts. Our own health experts were not yet convinced about the level of contagion or how serious it was. I think Dr. Fauci often speaks eloquently about the fog of war. And when I stepped into the White House Coronavirus Task Force leadership at the end of February, again, we only had 15 cases of coronavirus domestic in the United States. And the first case of community transmission also happened at the very end of February. So look, hindsight is 2020, recriminations.
Okay.
What the president was communicating, I believe what you hear in that February tape.
Chucky
was
Schumer
the
comes out of the
seriousness
shadows in
with
his
which he took
basement
this from
bunker.
day
Oh, he
one.
should have did this! He should have did this at this
The president made a
time!
comment about downplaying on March 19th. That was 4 days after this president ordered us to shut down the entire American economy to put the health of America first.
On that note, he did speak to Bob Woodward in 18 different interviews for 9 hours. The president's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, on Fox News last night said
9
that's not something
hours?
he would have
Good
recommended had
God,
he been
man.
in the role at that time. Did you know that he was talking to Bob Woodward 18 different times for 9 hours?
Good God.
I ran into Bob Woodward.
Who the hell
once
gets
in the
9
White
hours
House.
with
I
a
wasn't
president?
aware of a number of times.
Better be
the
a
president
Russian
spoke to
hooker.
him. But look, Sandra,
God.
I don't know there's ever been a more
It's
accessible
a joke.
president
Get over
of the
it.
United
Get
States
over it.
than President Donald
was
Trump.
that a good
Whether
idea?
it's walking to the airplane, walking to the
Well, I tell you
helicopter,
what,
whether it's
sometimes
press
people need to
briefings, this
lift me
president
up.
has been straight with the American
You know,
people.
so to be
And I think
real,
when you
to
look
be a
at the way
joke.
he's led through this pandemic, that's also been true. I mean,
I needed
honestly, Tony Fauci put it so well yesterday when he said everything that our health experts told the president in the Oval Office, he told the American people. Okay, and it's important that people understand that. That's what I saw
Let me
as well.
see,
I
Dad.
actually
Let me
didn't
see.
sense the
Why can't I
president
see?
was downplaying anything. We were giving the American people the facts as we knew
His
them,
grace,
as
he
we learned
said.
them, every step of the way. And the American people are incredible doctors and nurses.
Well, thank God
health
for
officials in
grace.
states
Who
across
would
the
make
country
it
and
to
all
heaven
across the
without
federal
grace?
government responded
Who would?
with incredible professionalism.
Respectfully,
in ways
Mr.
that
Vice
save
President.
lives. But it's so important in moments like this that the President of the United States project confidence to the American people, that they understand that we were deploying the full resources of the federal government, calling forth the full power of the American economy to meet this moment. And I promise you, Sandra, we're going to
Full
continue
power
to do that
of the
every step
American
of the way
economy? I disagree with
until-
that. Not the
until
full
we have
power.
a coronavirus vaccine and we put this pandemic in the past once and for all.
Okay, we have a lot more to get to. If I could ask you about the wildfires that are raging out on the West Coast, 3 states affected, seeing 7 deaths now, one involving a small child. What can you tell us is being done at the federal level now to step in and help as these fires are still raging?
Well, we're working very closely with
Well, it's important to tell everybody that they should seek God and know that God is sovereign in everything. And they should seek His face, repent of their sins, seek His face, seek His will. Of course, you have to do His will first before you seek His face. I mean, if you're seeking His face, you're in His will.
My daughter and son-in-law live in California. Our hearts go out to all of those that are enduring or threatened by these fires, and I want
he
to
has
assure
to say that. Well,
everyone
my
that
uncle
we're going to
is
make
down
sure that
there,
those
and
courageous
he was telling me he's
firefighters,
smelling
that
smoke in there, and
homeowners
he
and
was not
businesses
happy.
Have the full support
I'm not
of the federal government.
I'm not a big
as we,
fan of
as we make our
righteous
way through these fires,
indignation
but also as we
in
make
California.
our way through what is just actually the
But
beginning of
sometimes it's the
of fire
remedy
season
of a
out west.
sickness, a
And maybe there's
cancer.
orange skies when we were showing pictures of San
It is.
Francisco, and such an enormous task for those on the ground that are fighting these flames. I want to move on now to you on the ground in Pennsylvania yesterday, Mr. Vice President. Pennsylvania, obviously a key state in the upcoming election, a state that the president carried in 2016. He's
Right.
behind in the Real Clear Politics average of polls
Steel
in that
workers,
state
huh?
right now.
Who's gonna be
Obviously,
better
you
for
were
the
there
steel-
on the ground trying to
steel
sway voters
mills
with
and
your
American
endorsing
steel?
the president's law and
It'd
order
be
message,
Biden, or is
message
it
on
gonna
the
be Trump?
economy. What are you doing as you work your way
sure.
towards your big debate, October 7th, with Kamala Harris? What is the strategy to win over voters in a state like Pennsylvania?
Well, we're just going to go out and talk about the fact that this president has literally kept more promises than he made
Well, I'm
to the
in it. I'm
people of
getting
Pennsylvania.
no.
He said, we're going to rebuild our military. We're going to revive the economy with less taxes, less regulation, more free and fair trade, and more American energy, and that we were going to stand by our most cherished